And yesterday by Trevecca Nazarene. Went 0 for 4, got replaced on defense, and it was Pereira off the bench who had a very clutch 2 RBI double. Swing and a miss, strike one for Carlson.
Carlson on the year, though, has some pretty good numbers as he's batting .286 average. He has 33 RBIs, 3 home runs, and getting an all-base percentage of .435 on the year.
Now, a question a viewer at home might ask is, how does Carlson, the DH, get a defensive replacement? Well, that was because Tampa went to Luke Fiker out of the bullpen in the 7th, forfeiting the DH, sending Iovino in the game at defense, and sending Woodburn to second. Outside to Carlson, 2-1. There are free bases to put the Spartans. Dennis has not been prone to walks this season. Only 22 on the year through 77 innings. He's also struck out 59. But today, the command a little shaky, likely due to the atmosphere in tow. On the corner, it's 2-2. There was a tight call in the first inning against Rollins. There have been 2 of them here against the Spartans. That one a little shakier than the 2-strike call against Vanacek in that all-important spot after the balk. Popped up, and that will get him out of the frame. Catch made. They load the bases with 2 walks and a hit by pitch. They score off a sac fly and via balk. The Spartans don't need a hit to take the lead after 1 inning of play here on Regional Friday at the NCAA National Championships. That'll bring up Jimmy Thies to start the inning. He'll be followed by Matthew Mateo and Mason Elrod. Tampa, with a huge bottom of the first, has rallied back after the home run from Michael Furry. That Furry homer will still be good for Rollins. He gets some early momentum against B.J. Bailey. Bailey ended the season on a shaky note, getting chased out of the game in the 5th inning, but still had a dominant season on the mound for the Spartans. He's hoping to keep up that momentum in the playoffs. That's going to be taken 2-0. Close on the check swing. Top of the second here at Tampa. Tampa won the coin flip yesterday to stay as the home team in the regional semifinal. And you know, Xander, that is going to be huge for Tampa. You always get a slight advantage as a home team, not just for the location, but because the game of baseball gives you the chance to end the game on your terms as the home team. That's going to be hit to third. In play, bobbled. Martinez's throw isn't in time. I think that's going to go down as a single for the Tars. Hard to grade that narrow Martinez on what is a very tough stop to make. Runner on. No one out. That's the type of play that can silence the crowd. But also you imagine that the crowd won't get too rowdy to let B.J. Bailey settle in. Courtesy of the SSE Digital Network. It's NCAA playoff baseball from the South region. And it's an 0-1 count now to Mateo.
Matthew Mateo is going to be the senior, batting .311 on the year. Slugging .432, has 29 RBIs, 3 home runs, and 5 doubles on the year.
A hot day today here at U Tampa, 91 degrees. That's time of the first pitch. You do not envy the Tars in this situation, wearing black for their jerseys. It's not super humid, but they're going to get hot pretty quickly out there on defense. Irigoyen setting outside. Ball 1.
Jimmy Thieves, who is on first, is a stolen base threat, as he does have 9 on the year.
They trust the arm of Irigoyen, Tampa. They haven't really been checking on the runner. Rollins are a team that thrive in small ball, which is why they've always been a pesky postseason opponent. Fouled, still 1-2.
Well, we saw in the first game, the Trojans, anytime somebody got on first, they were throwing over 5 times was the average when somebody got on first. And that might have distracted the pitcher a little bit, as he ended up giving up 6.
So here's the 1-2. Bailey to Mateo.
Ooh.
Almost got him looking. Close call there. We still have a bit of glare on our center field camera, which would give you a better view of the pitches. Rest assured, though, eventually the sun will keep setting, and you'll be able to see the game a little easier once again. And they get the runner on a pickoff. Vanacek to Ponce. In time, 1 down. Beautiful pickoff out of E.J. Bailey. And they got it perfectly played. Still 2-2 to Mateo. That is going to take some of the wind out of the sail of Rollins. Bailey missing inside. 3-2.
It was a beautiful pickoff move to get him stuck in between the pickle. He saw the leg go up, and it was going to first. And credit to him, he hustled and made it close.
Ball 4 in the payoff pitch. Close call there. And once again, the Tars will have a base runner. This time it'll be the stolen base prowess of Mateo to deal with. He has had 10 on the year. Rollins is a team 88 on the season. The team stolen base leader is Connor O'Sullivan, who had gotten ejected yesterday. And they'll do a quick pickoff. Mateo is safe.
O'Sullivan got ejected, and the man up right now, Elrod, was the hero of the game yesterday for him.
Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Elrod's going to be a junior, batting .355 on the year with 19 RBIs, 3 home runs, 5 doubles, and 1 stolen base.
He had the highlight from last night's game, the go-ahead 2 RBI base knock. You can see that highlight on Div2 Baseball's Twitter account, as that one's hit foul and right to the Rollins bullpen. Caught by Books! Wow. Ascending up the mound in the bullpen, 2 down. That'll bring up Steven Deans, the battery mate, to Dennis. B.J. Bailey ready to go. And he'll fire back at first. So far, there's only been one upset in tournament play, that being Lee, the 5 seed, sending Delta State to the losers bracket. At least that's what is here in this region. Other regions have had upsets. Irigoyen's throw to second will be in time. What a ball from Irigoyen. From a seated position, Mateo is caught out. Inning over. 2 hits and a walk, but a depth defense gives Bailey the minimum. We are done through 1.5. The Spartans lead, and will try to strike while the iron is hot against Dennis when we a pretty lively atmosphere here at the University of Tampa, and we are set for a brand new inning. B.J. Bailey, having completed 2 frames, Dennis will try to do the same. Dennis, statistically, is slightly stronger than Noah Greenside this season. That's because Greenside's ERA did get increased a little after he got chased out of the game by a 6-run frame. Kobe Valley was the hero for the Rollins on the mound. He went the rest of the distance out of the bullpen. He'll be done for regional play, but he did more than enough to set the Tars on a good course. For Tampa, it'll be Ponce, Martinez, and Fiker as the Spartans continue. Strike 1 low.
Jesse Ponce, the lefty, is to be a junior, batting .290, having 29 RBIs, 3 home runs, 8 doubles, and 3 stolen bases.
Ball 1. Two and 1. Dennis's command has been a little bit spotty today. And that's going to get through the hole. Tampa's first hit from Jesse Ponce. But now one thing to watch for is how the Tampa fans will start to get a little more excited. Oh, and it's a bad throw back to the infield. Ponce is safe.
What great heads-up base running by Ponce to see that ball go away and get himself on second base.
A bad relay allowed Ponce to advance, and now Martinez has a runner halfway home. Today, the birdcage is unfriendly confines for Rollins. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Doesn't look like Tampa will have Martinez bunt over for Fiker.
Jack Martinez, the local kid, is going to be a junior that's playing third base, batting .277, slugging .429 with 20 RBIs, 3 home runs, and 4 steals.
A lot of local products here from Tampa, whether they're freshmen that have made their start or transfers coming in. Satin, Martinez, 2 good examples of players local to Tampa, now here with the Spartans. That one's bunted foul and almost as a fan souvenir. It is as a fan souvenir. Over the net. 1 and 2. So after the first pitch swing, trying to change it up with a bunt. So a failure here in the situation, but Martinez will try to advance Ponce by getting that ball in play. Tipped foul. You might wish that Tampa was able to capitalize a little bit more with that lively atmosphere in the first inning, but they did do enough with the balk RBI and sac fly. Martinez to center. This will likely send Ponce back. not deep enough to think about tagging up. 1 down for Luke Fiker. The big thing for Dennis now will be to settle in. Both teams have pretty healthy bullpens. Tampa just needed to use Luke Fiker, and Coach Urso said he'd love to have Fiker ready to go again today. But obviously, you'd imagine that instead of being on the mound, Fiker will have more of an impact at the plate. Tobin Moran, Sammy Beer, those are a few of the guys you could see for Tampa. Swing and a tip, strike 1.
Speaking of Fiker, let's hear his numbers at the plate. It's going to be 274 average, 306 slugging with 11 RBIs, and 6 doubles on the year.
Check to the runner from Dennis. Inside, 1-1. That's going to get lined into right. It'll drop in front of Furry. They're sending Ponce home. It's dropped in right, and Tampa extends to a 3-run lead. A 3-1 lead. Would have been a close play at the plate, but it was bobbled by Furry on the initial transfer. And Tampa extend the lead. RBI single from Luke Fiker. If he keeps this up at the plate, he might just earn himself regional tournament player honors. Obviously, a lot of good candidates. Kobe Valley's single game performance also will definitely be up there. High, ball 1. You think about some of the big home run hits as well that have sparked momentum. Robinson from the previous game. Furry as well today. A lot of good nominees. Here's Jordan Evans. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
And Walker Vanacek's home run in the first game for the Spartans.
Evans started tournament play with a triple. The ball careening away from Moses at the wall. He would eventually score. 2-1 to Evans. Can't count Rollins out. They're a team that thrives in the postseason. And we saw yesterday they were able to rally from a 6-2 deficit. Normal teams would have shriveled up. But this is a team that, even though they haven't made it as conference champions for over 6 years now, the Spartans have taken all of those titles. They're a team that when you get to the month of May, forget about the rankings, forget about record. They will give you 9 innings of baseball every single time. And it's a surprise that they fell short in their national championship bids, even as the underdog. They are not an opponent you'll like to see matched up against you on any side of the bracket. And I know Tampa and Coach Urso would have probably preferred that the Tars were down in Pensacola, but it's the correct call from the committee to have them third in the region. 0-1 to Braden Woodburn. Fouled away by Woodburn, and quickly ahead 0-2 with 2 down is Brett Dennis. Tampa have gotten back on the board, but it would be a very worthwhile escape for Dennis if he gets out number 3 right here. Neither Bailey or Dennis yet to get a strikeout. Outside, ball 1.
Woodburn scored on the balk in the first after he took a walk to get there.
Check swing. I believe they're going to say that one off the bat. It'll be still 1-2. Unlucky for Woodburn. He's been hit plenty of times this season by pitches. You would imagine that with the rate it happens, he probably will get plunked once today. 2-2. We already saw Uruguayan on deck get hit. And it wasn't intentional, but you do imagine that JoJo would like a little bit of revenge. 2-2. foul. But carrying to the corner. And it's gone! See ya! 2-run shot from the number 2. Nine times out of 10, that stays to the right. But this time it stays in play. It's 5-1 Spartans in the second.
As we said earlier in the broadcast, the ball is flying and pushing out to the right-hand side of the field, and only 3:21 to cover to get it over the fence, and he had all of it on that one.
He hit a 200-hit milestone earlier this month, leading to playoff play. I don't know if that home run will be a milestone for Woodburn, but it's got to feel pretty good. Irigoyen fouls this one back, strike 1. Another big moment for Woodburn. He's been a part of the last 2 national championship winning teams. So has Irigoyen. Actually, Irigoyen just in 2025. That year, he was playing catcher and DH alongside Santiago Guerravito. And Irigoyen gets under this one. Trailing, and it'll drop. They can't find it. A double for Irigoyen with 2 down.
Again, not all hits have to be hit 100 miles an hour. You can have a pop-up like that and you find some grass. The left fielder was playing a little bit to the right towards center, and that one just found some outfield grass.
And now a tough question for the Tars. Is this where you start to look at who are my options to mop up a game like this? If Tampa keeps jumping on the scoring, it might be a good idea to get someone new in. If Dennis has only thrown 40 pitches or so, that's where his pitch count's currently around, you're going to have to play 3 times if you get sent to the loser's bracket. Might as well leave him at an appearance where he could go multiple innings in a new spot start or other run. He'll quickly get up 0-2 to Jake Books. But obviously, you're still relying on his arm for now. But those are questions that'll start to pop up. Also depends on what the Tars can do on offense. They did put one past Bailey already, and they'll get back to the plate with this pop-up, unless it's misplayed by Mateo. Nope, he'll make the catch. Inning over. But Tampa strikes. An RBI single from Fiker, and a 2-run shot by Woodburn deliver a 5-1 advantage for the Spartans after 2 innings played. We've got some 2010s bangers playing over the PA here at the Birdcage. NCAA regional play continues. The Spartans are off to a hot start. They lead 5-1 against the Rollins Tars. A big home run out of Tampa's left fielder, Braden Woodburn. Tampa's defense has Woodburn in left, Evans in center, Books in right. Jack Martinez at third, Jesse Ponce at short, Luke Fiker at second, and Walker Vanacek at first.
Steven Deans is your batter. He's batting .234 with 13 RBIs, 1 home run, 1 double, 1 stolen base, and an on-base percentage of .359.
Bailey's been able to battle back after falling behind some counts today. This is another situation where that's happening. 2-1 to Deans. Two and two. Tipped, Deans staying alive. High and outside. That'll bring the count full. We already mentioned that there were no strikeouts for Dennis. Still no strikeouts for Bailey either. Fouled, so we stay full. And that is ball 4. Second walk of the day for Bailey. Lost out on a full count to Matthew Mateo. That'll bring up Mari Bejarano.
Bejarano is a switch hitting shortstop that's batting .254 on the year with slugging .391 with 25 RBIs, 3 home runs, and 8 doubles.
That's going to get through into left. A clean single, third hit for the Tars, and they'll start the inning with back-to-back base runners. Tampa's men's lacrosse team was in attendance to start the game. They leave here after the second inning. I jokingly said, they should have been forced here to stay a little bit longer. And with the Rollins team looking to maybe strike, those words could become true. (5-1) Spartans lead. Can Bailey escape this clutch situation with no outs and a runner in scoring position? Strike one low.
Pitch.
Great spot, and that'll get in front of Ruben, who popped out last time. That's going to miss. 1-1. One and two. Patient approach for Ruben as he falls behind. Great season for Ruben, getting on base at a .403 clip. Second on the team in walks behind Colin Hughes. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Strike 3 on the curveball. And with a runner at first, he'll go back to the dugout. 1 down, 2 on. That'll bring up Colin Hughes. Crazy stat, though, Xander. Colin Hughes has had 32 walks to 13 strikeouts this year.
That is a crazy stat.
An elite eye this season. Strike one in the inside corner. Hughes had a full count and grounded out last time with it.
Bailey's looking to get another ground ball here to get an inning double play.
He went around. Check swing, and he is visibly not happy about that call to the ump. It is 0-2 to Colin Hughes. And I do imagine that Santos gave him a warning right after that. This is not the point of the game where you want to argue with City Hall this early. 0-2 from Bailey. Down low, 1-2.
We have saw an ejection already from this Rollins team.
Ball two. Great take for Hughes. That'll level the count. Just high. Very close call. The broadcast camera, despite dealing with a bit of glare, does show that it was a little bit to the inside. That is a borderline strike, and Hughes will probably have to swing here. 2 on, 1 out, payoff pitch. Rolled foul. Got him, strike 3 on the outer edge. And no complaint this time. Hughes knew when he saw it land. 2 down, 2 on. Still a dangerous spot for the Tars. But Bailey, the conference pitcher of the year, rattling 2 straight Ks.
We talked about how good Hughes' eye was, but Bailey just beat him there on that pitch.
Safe on a quick check on the runner. Fiker covering second. High and in, strike 1 to Michael Furry. Last time out, there was a close strike 2 called against him. He and the Rollins fans were not happy about it. You know what Furry did? He turned a home run the very next pitch. That's the lone run that the Rollins have on the board. Up the middle. Ponce's there with a grab. His flip's in time, inning over. Bailey is pumped up for the escape. Jesse Ponce, what a diving stop. Tampa still leads 5-1 through 3 innings played, with the bottom of the third coming up. So here we go in the bottom of the third. Pretty exciting atmosphere here at the University of Tampa. We had a Gulf South Conference showdown earlier today. Coach DeBose said it was great to be able to take on teams that not only have they not been able to face before, but also teams that they have been able to face before. Keeps things fresh and exciting throughout the weekend series. Walker Vanacek leads off for the Spartans. It's been 49 pitches for Dennis in 2 innings. As such, they do have some players getting ready to stretch and toss. Rollins are hoping that Dennis can give them at least 5, make it easy on the bullpen, and a first pitch pop-up will certainly help. Tough ball to get to, but Thies is able to stay with it. 1 down. That'll bring up Gunnar Carlson, who is 0 for 5 here in the playoffs. Strike 1. We've got 9 minutes until the start of the next game from West Florida. The Argonauts taking on the Flames. Water and fire. You reckon that Lee is at a type disadvantage. 1-1 now, that one missing. To put Carlson level. Carlson down the middle, it's got too much carry. Caught in center field. That was likely the best at-bat of the tournament for Carlson so far, but it just doesn't have time to fall in front of Brown. 2 down. Bailey just had a big escape. Tampa would love to back him up with a little more offense. Ball 1 outside.
Ponce singled in the first and then advanced to second on a bad throw with good heads-up base running.
It'll be 2-0 now to Ponce. What a good defensive stop, though, indeed, Xander. Check swing. They say it went 2-1. I do believe they say he swung. That looked to be a little inside for a strike. 3-1. Martinez on deck. Ponce foul. Giving chases Mateo. It's 3-2. And that is ball 4. Ponce wins the battle, continuing the inning. Third walk out of Dennis today. Tampa have jumped on him early. Popped up. And Martinez will be done on the first pitch. If this is playable for Bejarano, it is. They do increase the pitch count and will strand a runner after 3 innings played. 5-0 Spartan, or 5-1 Spartans. We got some more bangers and great songs over the PA. Got the Dancing Queen playing to start the top of the fourth. And it's Jaden Brown at the plate. Line to center. Evans is there. One down. 2 first pitch flyouts for Brown today. And that'll bring up Jimmy Thies. The Spartans and Tars playing in the NCAA Regional semifinal. The winner of this game moves on to the late game on Saturday, and all they will need is 1 win over 2 tries to qualify to carry North Carolina. The loser will have to go to the loser's bracket and win in that final against West Alabama at 1 p.m. And then they need to take 2 straight against the winner of this game and do it the hard way. It's a lot harder to win 3 in 2 days than it is just win 1. And that's why this game is so important for both teams. Tampa's done it the hard way these last 2 seasons. It'll be 1 and 2 to Jimmy Thies.
Jimmy Thies reached on a single back in the second, but was thrown out trying to steal second.
Hit and foul. Still 1 and 2. And that's going to miss and hit him. Thies will get on board. First hit. Here's Bailey. Up the middle. He won't go for 2. Would have been a risky ball. He'll take the easy out at first. Smart play there from Bailey to go 2 down now. Mason Elrod ready to go. Lefty on righty matchup. Elrod had a clutch hit yesterday for the Tars. Ball 1. Good block by Uruguayan. Doubled in his last at bat. Elrod flew out in his last at bat. Up the middle. Another tough play. Bailey sliding grab. And his throws in time to end the inning. That is why the pitching fielding practice is so important. Allows Bailey to do things like that. After the solo shot in the first, he's been clean since, keeping it 5-1 through 3.5. So here we go, 5-1 entering the bottom of the fourth. Fiker leads off, and he'll take ball one. Brent Dennis, 60 pitches in 3 innings so far. Had a better inning last time on the mound. And that'll go 2-0 to Fiker. Hit through the hole. Out of range of Thies. Tampa get yet another base knock, their 5th of the game.
And the second one for Fiker.
That'll bring up Jordan Evans. Lined, caught at short, throw to first, Fiker is safe. Almost a double play, heads up play from Bejarano, but just a little slow in the throw back. Although to be honest, would have probably been impossible to get the out there. Here comes Ray Woodburn. Ball one.
Woodburn has been on both times he stepped up to the plate. Back in the first, he drew a walk and scored on a balk. And back in the second, he hit a home run.
Inside, 2-0 to Woodburn. Huge home run for him, putting Tampa up 5-1. Two and one in the outside corner to Woodburn. Woodburn offered, but held up just enough. 3-1. Joanna Irigoyen on deck with 1 down and 1 on. Strike 2. Woodburn immediately stepping away. He could tell it was a strike, but a tough pitch to get to. He'll wait to get the count full. Runner goes. Up the middle. That's going to get through. I like the idea from Bejarano to fake the catch and throw, but he didn't fool Fiker. He's at third. I don't just like it. I love the idea that Mauri Bejarano had, trying to throw off Fiker, but he kept running. Joe Andrew Irigoyen with 2 on and 1 out now for the Spartans.
Irigoyen was hit by a pitch in the first and scored on a sac fly by Walker Vanacek. And back in the second, he hit a double. A big-time opportunity here for Irigoyen.
Irigoyen it to right. That will drop and bring home a run. It would have been a sac fly for Fiker, who actually had to tag up and almost fell. "6-1 Spartans. Some clean hits bringing up Jake Books. fouled by Books, strike one.
Jake Books back in the first. Jake Books back in the first, drew a walk, and he flew out to the left fielder back in the second.
Outside, 1-1. Hit up the middle. This could be two. Bejarano for one. Throws on target, inning over. Good job with the glove this inning for Bejarano. Gets an unassisted double play on the toss to Elrod. Tampa score once on 3 hits, but the defense backs up Dennis to make sure it's nothing else. 6-1 Spartans through 4 innings played. Steven Deans leads off the top of the 5th. We're back at the bird cage. Taylor Storley, Xander Lopez bringing the action. The Spartans and Tars fighting for a trip to the regional finals. Whoever wins today has a very good chance of making it to Cary, North Carolina. At the start of the broadcast, I mentioned that there are no absolutes in baseball except for the Spartans. 10 national titles. 2-time in a row defending champs as the count goes 0-2. But even absolutes are not guarantees, because the last 2 teams to eliminate Tampa in tournament play are Rollins, as that'll be strike 3 to Deans. 1 down to start the inning. And those tournament eliminations definitely stung for the Spartans back in 2022 and 2023. The Tars are 4-5 in the last 5 playoff games they've had against Tampa. Very rarely is a team able to take 4 of 5 in a set against the Spartans as the count goes 1-0. Earlier this season, Tampa took on the Tars in conference play. They traveled to Winter Park and swept the series. 6-1 in Game 1, 6-1 in Game 2, 4-2 in Game 3. Fiker had a solid day today at the plate, not just in that series against the Tars, but here in the regional. Do wonder if Coach Urso is going to try to get him active today. He mentioned in the post-game conference yesterday that we'll try to find a way to keep Fiker cool and see if he can get going for this game right here. Otherwise, the Spartans have other arms they could go to out of the bullpen. Tobin Moran is one that definitely sticks out. The spot starter turned closer. Didn't need a feature yesterday. But for now, Bailey is cruising. 1-2 to Bejarano. Popped up. Could be a shallow one. And good news for Evans as he was battling the sun. It actually carries pretty deep. 2 down. Over 60 pitches in 5 innings for Bailey. Tampa is a team that doesn't mind letting the starters go deep. The opposite of West Alabama, who are very aggressive with the hooks. They trust in the bullpen. They have a pretty deep bullpen staff. And usually make the change after 5-6 innings and 2 trips through the order.
As this sun continues to go down, watch out for the shadows that are going to be in the field of play. It's already creeped up almost to the pitching mound when at the start of the game there wasn't even a shadow to be seen.
So a lengthy batting timeout, and that will bring up Joey Rubin, 2 down. And indeed, Xander, that is something to watch for here at the UTampa campus. You notice it sometimes with the glare on the camera, but the sun is at a very awkward spot behind us. And it shines forward to make life miserable for defenders. You'll see pitchers have to step forward when the shadow's over them to get the ball back from the catcher. And that'll be strike 1 to Rubin. Combine that with happening in the middle innings, where you see a lot of chaos usually, starters getting a bit tired. That could lead to something spicy. Tampa's had more experience playing at this time of the day at this park compared to the Tars, who had the opening game, or had the afternoon game yesterday. Tampa had the opener and the longest period of rest before this one. He did not go. Good check swing from Rubin, 1-2. 2-1. Hit to short. Great grab by Martinez. And his throw is offline. That's a tough angle to make that play. It will be an error on Martinez. But you can't be too mad at that defensive play. He's been very good with the glove at third base all season long. 1 on, 2 down for Colin Hughes. Each of the games here at the South Region number 2 have had 10 or more runs scored. 8-4, 8-7, and 7-3 out in West Florida. They did have a 22-run game, but everything else has actually been lower scoring. 4-3 advantage for Lee against Delta State. 3-2 advantage for Delta State against Edward Waters. It's kind of funny seeing some of the other scores around the nation, Xander. There have been some 14-10 games. There have been some really big offensive showcases as the count goes 1-0 to Hughes. But a little more defensively oriented here outside of some big innings.
Yeah, we saw some big innings earlier today with a 5-run inning, and earlier in this game we had nothing too crazy, but still 3 runs put up on the board. That's still a lot of offense and plenty left to go in this game.
1-1 now. Hughes struck out looking last time. One of the 3 strikeouts B.J. Bailey has had, compared to 2 walks. Bailey received Conference Pitcher of the Year honors and SSC First Team honors yesterday as the awards were unveiled. And unsurprisingly, Coach Joe Urso picked up Coach of the Year honors. Deep center field. Evans trying to find it, and he comes up with it. Out number 3. 1 error, 1 stranded, no hits, no runs. Bailey threw 5 innings with just the solo shot for the Tars. Walker Vanacek, another one of the local products who has recently transferred to the Spartans. You know, it's kind of funny. Tampa looks all around the nation for players, but Urso likes to find hidden gems who come from Tampa to come home and feature for Tampa. Vanacek came from the State College of Florida, as he is almost going to get hit to start the inning. Ball one. Big miss out of Dennis, who has rallied well. He's given up 6 runs, but he's been able to make it after it looked like he had a chance of getting chased down to the game early.
That was the 74th pitch, so he might be losing a little bit of that fastball command.
No strikeouts today for Dennis. Hasn't been the highest strikeout pitcher, but he's been yet to retire a Spartan with strike 3. That's going to be ball 3, comfortably putting Vanacek ahead. Bullpen will be active now for the Tars, and it is a tough question for Coach Silver. You know you're going to have, if you lose today, a 2-game day tomorrow. Strike 1 in the corner. Do you bring out a high leverage arm to fight for today, or a medium leverage, maybe even a lower leverage guy, to close the door, keep the bullpen healthy, and be ready for a brutal day of pitching across everyone in your staff? Deep fly ball for Vanacek. That one's got some carry. It is going, gone! See ya! Second homer of the regionals for Vanacek. Seventh heaven for the Spartans. 7-1. Vanacek heating up here in the month of May. First pitch to Gunnar Carlson. Ball 1. We asked Vanacek yesterday if he was looking for that home run he had, and he said, you know, he was just trying to get it to the outfield, and it carried a little bit further. Well, I imagine similar here, but a little less pressure to take it to the outfield. He just waited for his good pitch.
Well, and that question you had before he hit that home run is if you bring in a quality arm, I think that kind of just settled it. You're already down 7-1. It's the bottom of the 5th. You want to keep your heavier guys for that brutal day tomorrow.
If Rollins can't overturn the deficit, they will be facing West Alabama at 1 p.m. The winner of that game then takes on the winner here, which would be the Spartans, at 5 p.m. If Tampa wins that 5 p.m. game, then we get the day off on Sunday, apart from Tampa lacrosse, as the count goes 1-2. Otherwise, it'll be a 1 p.m. game for Game 7, the most exciting finale to a regional. Winner takes all. And this is where, of course, the pitching depth is going to be a huge question. Not today, but tomorrow on Saturday. You have played 2 grueling games leading into a huge day with must-win implications for everyone.
For the Spartans, though, pitching-wise, you're looking very well. You've only used 3 pitchers so far, and Fiker, that second pitcher that pitched yesterday, was still good to go today, but maybe you rest him and have him for tomorrow.
Certainly think so. Out of who Coach Joe Urso could pull, you've got a couple options. First one would be Tobin Moran. Fly ball into right. And it's off the wall. Carlson's first hit of the playoffs. He'll slide in safely, standing double. But taking a look at that Tampa decision they could make, they could go with Tobin Moran. He's been one of the most reliable arms for the Spartans, a borderline member that could have qualified for the Conference Reliever of the Year awards. Barely lost out. It was Luke Fiker who made the All-SSC first team as a reliever. By the way, he is about to come up again in 2 batters. But a big thing for him, compared to Tobin Moran, he could give you multiple innings if you need out of the bullpen and then be ready to go the next day. Or you could go with Sammy Beer. Coach Urso confirmed that Sammy Beer will likely be available, but he also said that it'll be his first game back in a while, so maybe a lower leverage spot would be where he wants to get him tested. Something like today almost. You also have players like Kenny Robinson, his electric strikeout stuff and his wild command. Josiah Velasquez, one of Tampa's strongest lefties. Pitching coach out there to talk with Rollins. Doesn't look like it'll be a full bullpen change yet, but rather it'll be just a full team meeting. Tampa could even go with Corey Lyle. His grandfather, Sparky, won an MLB Cy Young. Indeed, it is the day done for Dennis. He did the job going 4 strong innings. But to start the 5th, it's back-to-back extra base knocks. And the Tars will go to the bullpen. We'll be back with more action on the SSC Digital Network covering NCAA regional baseball.
Two Spartans have not been on base this season. It's pretty good.
It'll be Robert Ogg out of the bullpen for the Tars. 12 games, a 5.87 record, and a 1-0. A 5.87 ERA and a 1-0 record. How can you have a 5.87 record? How do you win an 87th of a game? What even is an 87th of a game?
I have no idea.
Let me ask the intern what that calculation is. Let's divide 9 by times 0.87. That would be 7.83 innings. But that also doesn't answer the question because a record is the wins and losses. I'm just rambling on. Anyway, Ogg's had a pretty solid season. A lower leverage arm is good for a spot like this. He has a runner in scoring position against Jesse Ponce. Hot day at the plate for Ponce. Walked last time, singled in the second. Heads up on the base path for Ponce. He reached scoring position. Tampa's already extended their lead to 7-1. Tough day for Brett Dennis, who's likely in line for his 5th loss of the year. 1 down now. Runner advances to 3rd. That'll bring up Jack Martinez. 2 outs. Here he is in a high leverage spot. Tipped foul, 0-1.
Got the infield playing in for Jack Martinez. They're expecting a bunt. Maybe a sacrifice bunt?
Would be a risky squeeze. Not out of the cards entirely. Now out of the cards entirely. 2 strikes. Fouled, still 0-2.
Jack Martinez in both of his at-bats have flied out to center and to left.
Swing and a miss away. 2 down. First strikeout for the Spartans today. Martinez just chasing that slider. Bunt popped up. Inning over. A risky call to do it with Fiker, especially with him hot at the plate today. And it'll get Og out of the jam. 2 hits and a run off a solo shot by Vanacek. Tampa is able to take Dennis out of the game with 7 earned. But Og starts strong out of the pen with 3 straight outs. So far, it's 7-1 in favor of the Spartans. Michael Furry, the lone player to get on the board for the Tars. Solo shot started the game strong. Tampa's responded with 7 unanswered. Ball 1 missing low. Third trip through the order for B.J. Bailey. Definitely got to keep an eye on how things go. It'll be Brown and Thies on deck. Two 2-0.
B.J. Bailey's about to have his 76 pitch thrown to Michael Fury, who has a home run in the first and a ground out to the second baseman in the third.
Missing 3-0 now. Tampa's got a 6-run lead. Bailey's not going to have an infinitely long hook. Tampa do have high leverage arms ready to go out of the pen. You imagine one of the first people you'd think would be Tobin Moran. Popped up on the 3-0. In range for Fiker, 1 down. I think Fiker will be quite happy to end up with that ball. As we move on to another at-bat for Jaden Brown. Let's take a look around the nation of D2 baseball, as that will be strike 1 inside. Over in our South region, West Florida and Lee are tied in the bottom of the second. Their game starting at 6 p.m., 1 hour after ours. As that'll be 0-2 to Brown. That is going to be ball 1. Out west, Colorado Mesa and STMU will be in the regional final of their side of the bracket. UT Tyler and Angelo State eliminated in MSU Denver in their side. That's going to miss low, 2-2. North Greenville is taking on Francis Marlin on their half of the bracket, coming off of a big win against Lander, who have since been eliminated. On the other side of their region, as the count goes 2-3, strike 3 looking for Brown. Strikeout number 4 for B.J. Bailey to bring up Matthew Mateo. The other side of that bracket, Catawba takes on Young Harris and has jumped to a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the second. Wingate had a huge game, 14-10 over Belmont Abbey in the bottom half of that region. Central Missouri and Rogers State will be playing at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Notably, Central Missouri, the team that lost to Tampa and Cary last season. They are the 3 seed in their region, on the road at Rogers State. 1-0 to Jimmy Thies. Pittsburgh State, the top-ranked team in the nation, currently facing off against Augustana. That game going to start after Northwest Missouri and Arkansas Tech's matchup, as the count goes 2-0. Three and 0. Mateo on deck. Strike one. Hits low and outside.
Jimmy Thies has singled back in the second, where he was thrown out trying to steal second base and was hit by a pitch back in the fourth.
Lined it to the gap. But that's going to fall before Evans can get there. And both Woodburn and Evans can't get it. It'll be extra bases for Jimmy Thies. Second extra base hit of the game for the Tars. First one since the first inning. 2 down for Mateo. Another base runner on the board. Lefty on lefty matchup. Ball one, missing high. Popped up right to the catcher. But Irigoyen can't get out of the box in time. 1-1. Hit up the middle. Fikers there. Out number 3. Another runner reaches scoring position for the Tars. It's another escape for B.J. Bailey. A quality start that could go a bit longer. On to the bottom of the 6th after 90 pitches from Bailey. Still 7-1 Spartans.
And welcome back to Tampa Spartans Stadium here. We have Jordan Evans coming up to bat, the center fielder. He has flown out in his first 2 at-bats and lined out in his third. Pitcher still for Rollins is going to be Robert Ogg. He has 1 strikeout on the day. Here comes the and it's just inside for count to go to 1-0.
Good start today for Evans. Tampa beginning their 4th trip through the order with Ogg on the mound. 2-0 now. You know, Xander, quiet day for Evans, but the man on deck has been on fire. Braden Woodburn.
He has. He has been on every time he's come up to the plate.
And he'll have a base runner just out of reach of a leaping Jimmy Thies. Evans safely into second. Lead-off double. Big hit out of Braden Woodburn. Ball 1 taken low. Ball 2. Same slider, but a little higher. Three and 0 missing. On deck, Uruguayan. That is going to be strike 1. And ball 4. Second walk for Woodburn. Second base runner given up by Ogg. 2 on, no one out for Joander Irigoyen.
As we said, Braden Woodward has been on fire. So has Irigoyen. He's also been on every single time he's come up to the plate with a single, double, and a hit by pitch.
1-0, missing outside. One and 1. Very useful strike for Ogg. There is some activity down in the Rollins bullpen, but they would really like Ogg to go a little bit further out of the pen. Tipped. It'll be strike 2. Two and 2, missing outside.
Gotta imagine if he gives up the walk, he might get pulled.
You certainly would expect a conference on the mound as the count goes full. Here's the 3 and 2. Hit down to third. Awkward grab, they'll get 1. Across the diamond, they'll get 2. A 5-3 double play, unassisted for Thies. That helps Ogg out a ton. 2 down for Jake Books. Missing outside. 2-0 now to Books. And that one will miss low, 3-0. So he got out of trouble in the previous at bat. And it's ball 4. Bases are loaded. Or 2 on, 2 out. That is going to be ball 1 opening the Vanacek. Second homer regional play in his last plate appearance. Fouled, 1-1. Fouled back, 1-2.
Back-to-back fastballs here for Og. You could tell on those last couple sliders that he threw, they were breaking too much to the opposite end, and he might be just losing it just about at 30 pitches.
Strike 3 called. He didn't lose it there. It'll freeze Vanacek to retire the side. 2 walks in the frame for Og, but a double play helps him get out of trouble with 2 left aboard. Scoreless frame for the Spartans, it's still 7-1.
And welcome back to Spartan Stadium as Mason Elrod, the first baseman, takes the plate as that ball is away for ball 1. Elrod has flied out to center field and grounded out to the pitcher back in the 4th. Here comes the 1-0. And that's down the middle for strike 1.
I was able to successfully register just fine, but I'm just trying to figure out what I need to do to opt in to the plan.
Whoa! as he loses his bat on the swing there for strike 2. B.J. Bailey has looked very, very good today, as his stat line so far is 4 hits, 1 run on that home run, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and 1 double for him today. Here comes the 1-2. And that's a strikeout swinging for Mason Elrod, as B.J. Bailey gets his 5th strikeout of the day. Last night, Rollins in the 7th inning exploded for a 6-run inning to come back and win against the Tigers, as time was granted, and B.J. Bailey still throws it, which is good. As I think the count is going to be 0-0, and they did grant him time before that pitch was thrown. And that's off the plate for ball 1. And that's ball 2. Steven Deans, who's the catcher, has walked in the 3rd and struck out in the 5th. Here comes the 2-0. And that ball is sharped to the shortstop, who gobbles it up and makes the throw for the 2nd out of the inning. And here comes Mari Benerano up to the plate. Back in the 3rd, he had a single, and in the 5th, he flew out to center field, as that is in there for strike 1 for B.J. Bailey. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. And it is down. Count goes to 1-1.
Big strikeout there for Bailey Xander. He's looking for this high-quality start. Do you think he might come back for the 8th if he's able to get out of it cleanly?
He'll be at over 100 pitches, and I don't know if you want to risk a possible injury, so I don't think he will.
1-2 fouled into the net.
Count is still 1-2 with 2 outs here in the the top of the 6th. Here comes the 1-2. And that is popped up to right field, and catch made by the first baseman. Over the head catch to end the inning. And zero hits, 0 walks, and 0 runs for B.J. Bailey as he ends 7 strong innings for the quality start.
ball. Jack Haynes are ready to go. We're back here at the University of Tampa. Taylor Sorthy, Xander Lopez bringing you the action. It's the lucky 7, the bottom of the 7th. 7-1, Spartans lead.
That ball's high for the count to go to 1-1.
Two and one, missing outside. That'll bring up Jesse Ponce on deck once this at-bat comes to a close. Carlson finally got his first hit of the playoffs last time out. That's going to be fouled away. 2-2. Hit foul, still 2-2.
And it was just a matter of time for Carlson to get it started. He has had some really good hits for these past couple days as the pitcher gathers that, and those are to first for the first out.
The new pitcher, Jack Haynes, 3.32 ERA, 10 games this season. No saves, but a solid member out of the bullpen, including with one start.
Jesse Ponce has been on twice today. That includes a single and a walk.
That'll be ball one.
He also had a magnificent play on defense to start an inning-ending double play.
Hit sharply to second. Nice grab by Ruben. 2 down. Hard hit ball for Ponce, but will be retired for the second straight time. Jack Martinez 2 down. He is 0 for 3.
He's the only Spartan to not reach on base today. Would that be a walk hit by pitch or a hit?
1-0. He'll get ahead to start the at-bat.
Just a bit outside.
Hit to third. Very high hop, but played in time by Thies. An unlucky, lucky 7th for the Spartans as they go 3 up, 3 down. Clean start out of the bullpen for Haynes. Bailey going to try to make it 8 innings on the mound on 101 pitches. We'll be right back. 7-1, Spartans lead. B.J. Bailey did face Rollins earlier this season. He went the distance, giving up just 1 run. It was an RBI triple from Mari Bejarano. It was on 115 pitches. 102 gets fouled away by Ruben to start the 8th. Bailey would love to go the distance again as the count goes 1-1 to the top of the order. These are going to be his toughest opponents as we continue. Tampa had won that game 6-1 against the Tars. One and 2 to Ruben.
He's over 100 pitches, but it looks like he hasn't lost his step at all. Still throwing heat on the mound.
Ball 2 taken down low. Update from West Florida. The Flames have jumped to a 4-1 lead over West Florida. Great stuff there out of the 5 seed. Getting in front of the Argonauts. Maybe Water is going to lose to Fire today. As that's lined to center, that will land 1 hop to Evans. A leadoff single for Ruben. Second time he reaches. Also got on board via Martinez error earlier. Bailey's had a pretty deep leash from time to time. Notably, he had a very good outing against Nova Southeastern. 6 innings, 14 strikeouts, 6 walks, 5 hits, and 2 runs. Tampa's website, as the count goes 0-1, shows that he had 162 pitches in that game, but not to burst your bubble, that's probably a clerical statistical error. I would be very surprised if he had 162 pitches, and even more surprised that it would only be 66 innings with 162 pitches. My guess is that it was probably about 90 to 100 with about 40-something strikes. But of course, still a really good outing. It was an extra innings win for the Spartans. It even saw Tobin Moran get a couple plate appearances. That was a game against Nova Southeastern. Lined, and it's going to be 2 hits back-to-back. A lot of those balls have gone the way of Bailey today, but this time they get down for the Tars, and a lot of eyes will be looking over at that Tampa bullpen. Tampa's up by 6, but they know that things can quickly turn around.
And this is a team that can turn it around very quickly, as we saw last night.
They rallied in a very similar spot, bottom of the 7th. It's top of the 8th. Here comes Sam Militello to talk to B.J. Bailey. Furry at the plate, hit a home run last time. We actually heard from Coach DeBose that, it was actually a good thing when we saw that 2-run shot in the previous game, conceded by Woodburn, because it allowed him to reset the table. They had a cushion where the home run didn't seriously impact the scoreline, and they then rattled 2 straight strikeouts. So you almost feel like playing devil's advocate. Maybe you empty the bases with a home run. Obviously, you don't want to do it on purpose, but if that happens, it gives Bailey or Tampa a chance to fully reset and not allow Rollins to really chain hits back and forth like they had in that game yesterday. Strike 1 in the outside corner to Furry.
If there's anybody in this lineup that can hit it out, it is Michael Furry, as he already has hit one out, and anything over the plate, if it's hung, might go out again.
Will be interesting to see who Tampa looks for out of the bullpen. Tampa's bullpen design got changed as the count goes 1-1. A few years back, they made it so that it was hidden down the left field line and not in open play like the Rollins bullpen. Not only is it more secure from foul balls, but gives you a little extra privacy. Carrying deep on the fly ball. It's caught on the warning track. Both runners tag up, and the relay will just keep him at the corners. 1 down. The wind almost gave it a ride for a second Furry home run of the day. 1 down in the top of the 8th.
That is the side that the ball is carrying on with the wind. With the wind gust, it's helping it out go to right field. And plus, that short porch at 321 wasn't a bad spot to hit it to.
It's where Woodburn went yard before. Ball 1, missing high. Fouled, 1-1. Hit up the middle. If it's not a double play, it scores a run. They'll go for out number 2, and the Tars are back on the board. Sack ground out from Brown. Very disciplined play out of Fiker. It's very easy to try to force an out at second and maybe turn 2. Probably wouldn't have happened, so he takes the free out. There's only 4 remaining for Rollins, with Thies to the plate. It is a second run scored for the Tars, though. They'll make it 7-2.
You said it. A very savvy play there.
With a righty at the plate, it'll be the day done for B.J. Bailey. And I can tell you he is not happy about not being able to escape the 8th. But he doesn't have to be disappointed. He has been fantastic today. And after getting chased out of the game in the 5th last time out, he can hold his head high. He has put Tampa in a great spot as a call to the pen will be made to get the final 4 outs of the game. I have a hunch this won't be the final time we see Bailey wearing the Spartans white, red, and black. What a way for the conference pitcher of the year to start his postseason journey. 7-2, Tampa leads. 1 on, 2 down. Tobin Moran enters the game for the Spartans. B.J. Bailey done after 115 pitches. Xander, you hit the nail on your head with that. You predicted that, 115 might be the pitch count limit for B.J. Bailey, and while it might not have been a pitch count thing, that is where his outing comes to a close.
Yeah, it was more so if they scored at all, like you said earlier, that he was going to be out. And they got 1 run across, and that was the end of his day. He had a very great outing. I mean, they really couldn't do anything to him. Only Furry got to him with the home run, and again with that sack ground out.
Tobin Moran's had many comfortable deep outings out of the bullpen against Nova in that 14 strikeout game for Bailey. He had 2 innings where he closed the door and gave Tampa the win. A 1.83 ERA, an 0.96 whip on the year for a 2-0 record with 2 saves. It's been a great year out of the pen for Moran. even ended up with a 1-for-2 day against St. Leo and a pretty comfortable Spartans win. So, a bit of two-way action for Tobin. His last appearance, he went 3 innings against Barry on the Thursday game, struck out 6, en route to helping Tampa come out on top. Picked up the win in that game as Fiker then came in for the ninth for the save. 2-0 missing from Miranda Thies. Tampa have a 5-run lead with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Fiker was even getting some tosses in with Jack Martinez again. Call him the infield catcher for the Spartans. Popped up. Book's giving chase. That is going to land foul by the Rollins bullpen. 2-1. Two-one hit up the middle. Fiker's there. In time for out number 3. A clean out for Moran. 1 run scores on 2 hits. The Tars are finally back on the board, but they leave one on the base path. Last chance for the Spartans to extend their advantage before the top of the 9th. Solid inning for Hayes out of the pen. He'll continue in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch for Fiker. Hit to third. Nice hop for Thies. 1 down. Tampa's up 7-2. The Tars having scored in the previous frame. Tampa put 3 on the board against Webster yesterday. Was it Webster? It was against Sweeney yesterday. That gave them a 8-4 advantage, which was easy to hold on to. Fair down the line for Evans. Out of reach of Thies. And Evans gonna stay at second for a 1-out double. His second hit of the game. That'll bring up Braden Woodburn.
Braden Woodburn, he extended his streak of getting on base every single time he's been up last inning, or in the 6th. Can he do it again?
Ball one inside. It has been the Braden Woodburn show today. Into right. That's going to get down. Evans will come home, and it's 8-2 Spartans. Slow to get it at the wall. A cruising, standing double, and a third RBI of the game for Braden Woodburn. That'll bring up Joander Irigoyen. I think you can tell that Rollins are good for Haynes to go the rest of the way. Woodburn at second. Books on deck. Irigoyen steps up.
Woodburn ends the day only a triple shy of the cycle.
Maybe Tampa can bat around to get him to the plate. Ball one. Keep him chasing that cycle. Lined it to right center. Down in the gap due to the shift. 9-2 Tampa. As Woodburn will make it home. Irigoyen into second. Safe. 4 pitches, 2 runs, and 3 hits. Tampa jumping all over the Tars here in the 8th.
Now that is 3 back-to-back-to-back doubles here for the Spartans in the bottom of the 8th.
That'll get fouled for strike one. Down low, 1-1 to Books. Walked last time, 2 of them on the day today. Books has had a pretty good eye this season. He's getting on base at a .457 rate. 40 walks leading the Spartans. Actually, just one behind Carlson. But that discipline also comes with the highest strikeout rates of the team, 49 and 47 respectively. 1-2 to Jake Books. Strike 3. First strikeout for Haynes to bring up Walker Vanacek. Ball one. One and one. Ball in the dirt, 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. And he's got him. Strike 3, inning over. On to the top of the 9th. 2 runs on 3 hits that time for the Spartans, and they lead 9-2, leading to last chance. First pitch of the ninth. Strike one from Tobin Moran. Mateo, Elrod, and Deans start off for the Tars. They had a huge inning in the seventh yesterday. That's exactly what they'll need today if they want a chance to stay alive. And that's going to be out number one to Luke Fiker. And Moran gets a second out of the bullpen. Not a safe situation, but he can put a nice little bow on the day-to-day for Tampa. And for the first time in a few years, they will make it to the regional final without having to worry about the loser's bracket for the time being. That'll bring up off the bench for Elrod, the number 43. Elvin Figueroa. Big fly ball from Figueroa. That'll get down into center. And it's a one-out single for the Tars. Wasting no time off the bench. That's his 13th hit of the season. Usually an on-base guy getting on at a 423 clip. Here's Deans at the plate unless they make a change. Yes, they will make a change. On the game will be A.J. Barrios. Moran is in a great spot, though. He's got a 7-run lead. All he needs to do is make sure his command doesn't slip and let his team work behind him. Trust his stuff. It's something that, coming off of an injury last year, Moran had to learn how to do again as the count goes 1-0. And that'll be ball one. By the way, they don't have a pinch runner for Figueroa, by the way. That is hit foul. 2-1. One, 2-2 now from Moran. Inside. They say it hit. He says his foot hit his foot, but the umpire says no. 3-2. Full count now to Barrios. Line to center, and that'll drop in front of Evans. 2 on with back-to-back singles to bring up Mauri Bejarano. A little bit of offense late for the Tars. Swing and a miss, strike one.
It's interesting. Bejarano's a switch hitter, but he's electing to swing from the right-hand side right now.
Might be where he's a little more comfortable.
Yeah. Maybe because of those shadows, he can see the ball a little bit better from the right-hand side?
Potentially. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Ball one. Great take there from Bejarano. And he got him. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Moran. 2 down in the 9th, 2 on. Slider missing away. Ball 1 to Rubin. One and one.
That's a good pitch.
One and two. Slider hits the zone, and now the Tars are down to their final strike. Applause from the birdcage. Missing 2-2.
Pitch here could send the Spartans into tomorrow being the team to beat.
Line to center. That's dropping quickly, and it'll take one hop in front of Evans. One run will score, and the inning continues. Runners will stay at first and second after the play. Figueroa makes it home. Moran's got a lot of wiggle room here. A 6-run lead still. Rollins have been able to mastermind some late comebacks before. Remember the bottom of the 7th yesterday. Swing and a miss at a wicked slider inside. 0-1. Hughes singled last time. One and one, missing low. Fouled back, 1-2. Second time he's had 2 strikes and 2 outs. Moran to send Tampa to the regional finals. Lined and caught by Vanacek. This time he does it, and Tampa moves on. Rollins get on the board in the final inning, but a comfortable cushion for Moran sees Tampa advance. The Tars aren't done yet. They won yesterday, so they will be back at it again tomorrow. But they will need to run it back and beat the Tigers once more for a chance at revenge against the Spartans. 3 runs on 9 hits for Rollins. They do leave 8 on the base path in line for the loss. Dennis takes the defeat. 7-5 record. B.J. Bailey gets the win, improving to 13-0 on the season. No save or hold needed in this spot. As Moran takes the final inning despite 1 run earned. A clean game for the Spartans. A great day for Bailey. Xander, your final thoughts?
Final thoughts is just Tampa has to go into tomorrow ready and prepared as always. And they got to go in and just get it done in game 1. Don't even get it to a game 2. Go get your rest. You only used 4 arms in total, but Fiker is good and ready to go for tomorrow because you didn't use him today. So, again, you have a very strong bullpen versus a very strong opponent out of whoever comes out of Rollins versus West Alabama.
So, the table is set. Tomorrow at 1 p.m., it'll be a rematch of round 1. West Alabama and the Rollins Tars in a win-or-go-home showdown. The winner takes on John Luke Glanton and the Tampa Spartans in the regional final. Tampa needs to win 1 of 2 to move on to Cary for a 3rd straight year. Rollins will need to go the long way if they want to spoil the Spartans' three-peat dreams. Coach DeBose and the Tigers must be licking their chops, ready to go for a rematch revenge at 1 p.m. I'm Taylor Sorley for Xander Lopez and everyone here at UTampa. Day is done of regional baseball, and we'll see you tomorrow for more action, courtesy of the SSC Network on TampaSpartans.tv. It's NCAA playoff baseball. Tampa wins 9-3.